Hi guys, these are my top tips for booking a flight to the Philippines and finding a cheap fare. I've basically gone back home to the Philippines more than 60 times over the last 3 decades. Not only that, I found so many decent fares for people in the past. When I'm looking for a fare to the Philippines, I normally advise traveling midweek. Never go on a Friday or a Saturday because it's more expensive. I would also suggest you book a flight for an early flight, like early in the morning. That's normally going to be cheaper. The other thing I would do is I would look on websites like lastminute.com, Expedia, Skyscanner, a number of these kind of websites. If you're looking on Skyscanner, by the way, and you see a flight to the Philippines that looks really cheap, always avoid it. You know, the fact is that if you see a list of flights, never go for the lowest one, go for the middle one. And not only that, look at the cancellation. The way that it works is this: if you go for a really cheap fare, you'll probably find they'll charge you 100% cancellation charge, or they'll charge you a lot of money to make changes to the flight, etc. Number 3, do your research. Look at which airline is flying at a cheaper fare, and then go on to the airline website directly. Have a play about with the dates. If you travel midweek, it might be cheaper. You know, for example, Qatar Airways has got a economy classic, and then they have a premium fare, and it goes up from the very basic to the highest, obviously. What I would say is look carefully at the terms and conditions as well. And basically search around, shop around. Going back to Skyscanner, if you find a fare on Skyscanner, I would always look at the travel agency. Just because a travel agency rating is 4.8 stars on Skyscanner doesn't necessarily mean that it really is. I would copy down the name of that travel agency, and I would look at the reviews on, say, TripAdvisor or a flight review website, just to see the real information about that website. So when you look on Skyscanner, you might find a really good review, but when you go independently on Google about that particular travel agency, it might tell you an entirely different story. You know, the way it works with some of these travel agencies is they don't give you a real fare, i.e. it's not an online fare that you can check immediate availability. So you'll see a fare that's quite cheap, and yet when you speak to the travel agency, you might find that they want to charge you more, they want to put on some added on costs. So I'll just say very, very careful. Whenever I've gone back home to Filipinas, I've always gone to the airline website directly. I'm very dubious about booking on the third-party search engines, because you never know if you're getting a good deal or not. I would ask around, and as I said, if you travel midweek, you'll get a cheaper fare. So yeah, if you need any advice, you can contact me as well. If you want to look at the dates, if you want me to look at the dates, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to advise anybody and hopefully help my friends to find a better fare to the Philippines. Maraming salamat po. And of course, if you need any advice when you go back home, if you're a foreigner watching this and you need any advice, having gone back to the Philippines so many times, I can probably give you some advice that could basically save you some money too. Thanks so much, guys.